Okay, well the sun's starting to set, but I think we've just got enough time to have a look at this locomotive here. I should just quickly point out that I have tried to review this locomotive 3 times now. The first time I was interrupted by a massive pigeon landing on the conservatory roof. The second time I was interrupted by the neighbour shoveling coal because they still have a coal fire. And then the third time I was interrupted by a car alarm. So, 4th time lucky. Maybe nothing will happen this time. Who knows? We'll see. So here we are. She's by Hornby, as you can tell. She's super detailed, although we'll just have to check out how legitimate that claim is. She is a Princess Royal class. The more discerning viewer will know that due to the fact that she's massive for a start. She's got a typical stannier tender on the back. And she looks very much like the Princess Coronation class, but she's actually a bit older than that. She came before the Princess Coronation class. And there's no smoke deflectors at the front. That's one way to tell. If we just look around on the end, we can see that she's in British Rail livery, and she's in a rare blue British Rail livery, which is quite nice, quite unusual. She's a 462. That means there's 4 wheels there, 6 wheels there, and then 2 wheels there. The middle wheels are always the drive wheels, which are these. The front wheels are normally just bogie wheels, basically. They're to help support the weight of the locomotive and to help guide the locomotive around corners. And then the last wheels there, well, they basically aid again in guiding the locomotive around corners and supporting the firebox and the cab. So, what else? She's Lady Patricia, as we can see, just there. If the camera will let me zoom in on that, yes it will. And she's weathered as well, and you can just about make that out, but obviously we'll see that much clearly when we open her up. She's also DCC ready, which is a beautiful touch. That shall definitely come in handy. I'm sure it's 8-pin. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get her open and have a look. So, come on, we're all used to this. We've seen this before. Here are the instructions for the Princess class this time. Again, you know, we're all used to these by now, aren't we? I think there's even a tribe in the Amazon basin that have probably got a collection of these, as well as DCC jackets. Yes, there we go. Where would we be without these DCC jackets? I'm not going to comment. Right, so let's just have a quick look. The only time you'll need to refer to these really is if you're opening the body off. I've had quite a few questions and comments about chipping these locomotives and taking the body off. Seems to be something that concerns you. All I can say is just be careful. You know, don't rush it and don't force it. Always consult the instructions first. They should normally tell you how to take the locomotive off, such as if there's any screws to remove, where to put your hands. Perhaps the body needs to go forward and then off, or backwards and then off, or maybe it needs to come out at the side and just, you know, lift off. So always consult these instructions for that. I doubt really you'll need to use them for anything else, but they're there if you need them. So here she is. Let's just get her out. Well, let's get the tender out first, and then come back to that in a second. It was originally wrapped, but I have actually given her a running in already. So let's just pop the locomotive out. Oh, what's that? What's that we've got there? Let's have a look. What is this? Okay. That's basically what looks like a spare coupling for the front, should you want to ever use the front of the locomotive to push or pull. But then these are basically brake rods. They're part of the brake system. They slot into tiny little holes on the bottom of the locomotive. You can just see that there's a hole there, just there, and there's one just there. And basically, that's where it fits in. That's where it slots in, and it just forms part of the braking system. It's how the locomotive, braked when it was in real life, when it was running. And they just want you to fit them manually by hand. Some people do, some people don't, but they're there, so that's that. And as for the little bit of paper, that's probably instructions on how to fit the coupling and how to fit the. There's even little. Oh gosh, what do you call them now? Well, steps. They're steps. There's even little steps to fix onto the front of the locomotive if you wish. The only thing is you have to bear in mind that very narrow curves, the only thing is you have to bear in mind that second radius curves, and especially first radius curves, might cause a problem there. As the bogie moves to one side, it could clash with these steps. But that'll all be explained if you open that up. So, where were we? Ah yes, the locomotive. Well, wow. What can I say? She's stunning. Absolutely stunning. She is beautiful. She's so huge. Really, really heavy. And just look at the linkage. The detail on that linkage is spot on. This massive bar we've got here coming down the side of the locomotive, that's the reverser. That's basically how the driver could put the locomotive into reverse. But to include all of this detail is beautiful. We've got a gorgeous handrail down the side. We've got rivets all around the front of the smoke box. By the way, this end is called the smoke box and this end is called the firebox, because this is where you have the fire. You know, you get all the heat rises up, goes through tubes right down to the front and heats all the water up as it goes through there. There's a lovely bit of vacuum braking detail on the front there, which I haven't put on, by the way. Oh wow. And even the buffers are sprung. They're weathered and sprung. That's gorgeous. I don't know if the camera can make it out, but there's a little LMS logo there, which is good, because these were made by the LMS in Crewe. Oh, sadly we've got no detail in the cab. That's a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to include some, but well, I suppose you could always paint it or add it to yourself. Never mind. And then this is the coupling here to the tender, obviously. That's her number. Safety valves, whistle. But the other side is just as beautiful. Again, the attention to detail and that weathering effect. You know, it might not be to everybody's taste, but I think it's really nice. I think it's a really nice touch. And with it being in blue, it's just so striking. It looks so different. Let's just put it down and have a look at the tender really quickly. Oh, we've got a little bit of polystyrene there. Get rid of that. There we go. This is great for just showing you the weathering. You can see that that's perfect blue, and then it gets cloudy and grey as you get to the bottom, because that's where the weathering's being applied. This is the early emblem, the British Rail early emblem. It was later replaced with the late crest, which is the other type of British Rail logo. I haven't got one to hand to show you. There's the coupling there for the locomotive. There's a load of coal in. It's fake, obviously. I'm not too sure if it's removable. It probably is, but I'm not too sure. I have to, initially, I would say it's not, but you know, there's always a way. There's always a way. Wherever there's a will, there's a way. You knew I had to do it sooner or later. Okay. Yes, beautiful. Look at the rivets. Look at the quality of the paintwork. Absolutely spot on. Even a little LMS logo there on the end. And weathered, sprung buffers as well. A nice medium-sized coupling. It's not a huge big fat one. It's not a tiny little skinny one. It's not a NEM coupling, which is a shame. But there we go. That was a bit loose. but it's there and it's nice. So I think we need to put it on the track and see how she runs. Okay, so here we are at the layout, and today we're going to use the outermost loop, the third loop, which is the fastest and has really nice gentle fourth radius curves. So let's just put on the locomotive first, like that. There we go, all wheels on, and then the tender should just slot in at the back. There we go. Wow, look at that. How smart does she look? Huge as well. I mean, end to end. You know, there's a lot of coaches that aren't even that long. Well, she's longer than most coaches, actually. Yeah. So, let's give her a direction. Oh, did you see that jerk then? And then some juice, and off she should go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Such a smooth motor, such a beautiful mechanism. Just look at the way the linkage is flowing so smoothly. A lot smoothly than my camera work, anyway. Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, this is a really slow speed for a DC locomotive that's not being chipped. Yet she's running incredibly smoothly. She's just fantastic, isn't she? I think I'm going to have to get some really close-up shots of her coming past the camera. Oh yes. Well, it seems she's just as happy going fast as she is slow. Okay, this isn't as fast as she could go. She's capable of going a lot faster than this. Well, I don't know what to say. She's just incredible. Real quality locomotive.